You'll never guess, Jim, but once again, we are in the future.
Help me! Help me!
You okay?
Suddenly I have the head of a fly. Or is it the head of a guy and the body of a fly? I'm a fly guy.
All right, well, there's no easy transition from Fly Guy to anything else, but why don't we fly along and...
I'll tell you what, there's no easy transition for Tony to life after wrestling after the ratings this week, huh?
Again, there's a bunch of stories happening at once. It's the television show quality. Now you could say it's the television show ratings. It's the amount of people buying or not buying tickets to their shows. But hey, they had Wembley. Let's never forget that.
We'll always remember Wembley.
Jim, AEW Dynamite.
Tony Storm is going to be making movies about Wembley here pretty soon.
And they'll be silent. Jim, AEW Dynamite that we just reviewed from October 25th, Wednesday night on TBS, was watched on average by 774,000 viewers.
Youch! Boom goes the Dynamite. The chickens come home to poop. Isn't that an old saying?
Well, it's something like that. I think it's the poop comes home to roost.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, let's see what this rooster poop did quarter by quarter.
Quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. These were compiled by WrestleNomics. MJF, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom backstage during their promo, and the beginning of Juice Robinson versus MJF with picture-in-picture, 982,000 viewers.
Boom! So they... And you said the average was 774?
That is correct.
Was there a massive power blackout on the East Coast?
Maybe voluntarily.
Possibly. Well, let's go from here and see where the journey takes us.
Quarter 2, 8:15, 8:30 p.m. The continuation of Juice Robinson versus MJF. Bullet Club Gold, MJF, and the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn's live angle. And then MJF and Kenny Omega's ramp confrontation. 936,000 viewers, and also the high point in the key demo, 394,000.
So they couldn't, even with all that MJF that they were spreading around the first half hour, they couldn't keep people there. Well, whatever they started from, the Big Bang must have been popular that evening. Maybe they just lost 50,000 of the Big Bangers that didn't like the Bang Gang Banger Ganger Clangers.
Should there be a crossover event with the Bang Bang Gang and the Big Bang and the Big Bang Club? What is it? The Big Bang Theory.
Everybody could get banged. It could be a big fucking deal bang. They could call it the Big Bang. Start all over again.
Well, let's see how they started for segment 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m. An ad break, a Wardlow video.
That may have been the high point of the demo. No, go ahead.
The Wardlow video, Hook and Rob Van Dam versus Alex Reynolds and John Silver of the Dark Order with picture-in-picture, 752,000 viewers.
Oh, my God. That's 100 and, I can't do this math, 184,000 people in 15 minutes said, fuck you? What did the Super Bowl start on the other channel?
And for the record, the key demo went from 394, the high point, to 286.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now at a cable guide. Can I get it from 2 days ago? Let me see. One day back, October 25th. So we're talking 8:30 p.m. approximately. There was Celebrity Jeopardy on ABC. There was Survivor on CBS. Sullivan's Crossing on CW, whatever that is. The NBA, the Celtics versus the Knicks on ESPN, but that game started, I believe, 7:30. Certainly before 8 o'clock.
Did somebody, was there like a triple Lindy fucking 4-point goal or a double dunk and somebody got their brains bashed out or something? They would switch over in the middle?
No, they would just go to Twitter and see the clip of that. But there was nothing like that, though. It was just a game. I mean, it's the beginning of the season, but nothing big at that point at 8:30 that would cause people, other than the fact that MJF was no longer on the screen, to jump off that show.
All righty.
Quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m. The Tony Storm video with picture-in-picture and a full-screen ad break. And then Sting receives the gift of Ric Flair, as well as Christian Cage's live promo. 756,000 viewers.
They only got 4,000 more for Ric Flair walking out.
Again, Ric Flair in 2023 isn't what Ric Flair was in previous years, but he's still Ric Flair, for good or for bad. Is that something you want as a surprise, or is that something that should be announced? Considering his history as a ratings mover, is that something that should have been announced ahead of time?
Well, again, if he's going to be around, if he didn't book himself and that's the arrangement where he's going to be here a lot, then I can understand him making a surprise the first time, because like anything going to happen, there's some cachet you can earn sometimes with that. But then what did the next quarter do? Because Ric Flair showing up on Twitter should get 4,000 people in the fucking United States to switch over in a couple of minutes, right? They just, Ric Flair just showed up. And
well, you're not too far off when you said 4,000. Quarter 5, 9 to 9:15 p.m. The continuation of Sting, Ric Flair, Darby Allin, and Christian Cage's confrontation. The Chris Jericho backstage promo at Renee. Adam Page and the Young Bucks versus Isaiah Cassidy and the Hardys with picture-in-picture. 764,000 viewers.
Well, no, there's 8,000.
I know, I said 8, you were close. I said you were close.
I was close, yeah. For Gazinda, 8. Boy, howdy. Okay. Well, at least we know where the overall average is coming from, but I think they've still got a bit of more plummeting to do, don't they?
Well, quarter 6, when you put it like that, it's nothing but funny. When quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m., the continuation of the Bucks and Page versus Cassidy and the Hardys, with the post-match with Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana breaking into Adam Page's home and terrorizing his baby. Also,
his invisible baby.
An ad break. Adam Copeland's confrontation with Sting and Darby Allin, and the beginning of Hikaru Shida versus Ruby Soho. 726,000 viewers.
And there goes another 38,000 of, and is this now going to be called the EVP effect? If this was science fiction, I think it is science fiction.
If you look at it fairly, without any personal feelings or anything involved, when was the last time the Young Bucks had a positive impact on AEW programming or events?
The only time I can remember them drawing an above average quarter hour was when they went on first, which is kind of a gimme.
And maybe a couple times when they were tied to Omega, who people actually do want to see. No matter what you want to say, they want to see him a lot more than they do the Young Bucks.
Yeah, when they're out there by themselves or with Hangnail, because...
Yeah, exactly.
My God, he's like a fucking... I can't form a cogent simile. He's like a charisma vacuum in that it's just nothing happens around him. It's just whininess. Go ahead.
Quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. The continuation of that incredible Shida versus Ruby Soho match with picture-in-picture, as well as a post-match with Tony Storm coming out. MJF's backstage confrontation with Samoa Joe. Another ad break. And the beginning of the entrances for the main event. 643,000 viewers.
Oh, good Lord.
Now, once again, there was the Mavericks and the Spurs started at 9 p.m. So even if you want to say that game affected the 9 p.m. hour, this is 9:30 we're talking about now.
And, well, they've lost 764 to 643, 121,000 people since the top of the hour by quarter 7.
Young Bucks followed by the women's division is going to kill an audience every single time. But there's one thing that could finish it off, and that's quarter 8, 9:45 to 10 p.m. Okada and Orange Cassidy versus Bryan Danielson.
The unknown and the unwanted.
Versus Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli with picture-in-picture. There's also an overrun.
The concussed and the confused.
646,000 viewers. 3-minute overrun, 716,000.
Yeah, and I don't think those extra 70,000 people showed up just to see the last 3 minutes of this grip. Remember, the last 3 minutes you tried to explain to me was a lot of people standing around. So that extra 70,000 was probably whoever was waiting for the start of the program they wanted to watch.
Right. The other option is someone was watching another show and it was 10 o'clock and the show ended and they're like, hey, I wonder if wrestling, if they're just still on, like maybe they messed up the time and they'd still be on. And it turns out they did, and they were. But that's how you kill an audience.
Didn't get any audience gain, but the last 3 minutes that. So yeah,
they got one guy there that matters, and that's MJF, and they're doing what they can, it seems like, to kill everything he has going for him. But he's the one guy they have that actually people tune in to see what's going on with him.
Wait a minute. From start to finish, they lost 336,000 viewers, right?
Right.
And 336 Gazenda, 982, at least, let's see. They lost almost 40% of the viewers they started with by the end of the program. Is that some kind of record?
It just may be. It just may be. And I mean, look, it was a bad show. And I said to you when we were talking about it during the review, there are times they do these bad shows and you're like, Jesus, they actually popped a number somehow. But this was really bad and sloppy and unfunny and uncreative and poor. And there's no one who's a star anywhere. Okada is a great wrestler. I'm a fan of his. You put him in there with someone I wouldn't watch him with. But let's go to the fans who have no idea who he is, which is the vast majority of the viewing audience. You gave them nothing to tune into. You gave them nothing. That women's division, at this point, it really is just like the women's token match on the show in the kill the ratings spot. And the problem is they put the women in that spot and then they bomb. Sheeta versus Soho was awful. It was embarrassing. It wasn't ready for television. And then you take a step back.
It wasn't even ready for radio.
The Young Bucks, who make a lot of money, do they earn it? Do they earn it? How much merch are they moving now? How many times have they ever popped a number? Or at least in the last 2.5, 3 years? Is there anyone you want to see them in the ring with? Do you feel like you've seen all you can see from them? Does anyone want to see Adam Page? The Swerve stuff, it's like 1 step forward, 3 steps back every time. It's like, wow, he did a good promo. Or wow, he had a good match. Oh, now he's committing some sort of fucking felony on camera. With Nana. Nana's from Queens. He should know better than to participate in stuff like this.
I know Nana. He would never allow himself to be evidenced.
They put Sting on the mic again. It didn't do anything to help. They brought out Ric Flair with no prior announcement. Got a lot of negative feedback from AEW fans. If you're going to do it, at least try to get something out of it. Other than just YouTube video. The YouTube numbers for that clip are great. It's better than everything else on the show that no one wanted to watch.